Stansted, very good evening. Hotel 558 information golf requesting RFR clearance to Schiphol.
Transponder 892, good evening. Information golf is cleared to Schiphol, Clacton, 8 friendly departure. 7314, QNH102.
Clear to Schiphol, Clacton 8 Romeo departure, squawk 7314, QNH1024, North Shuttle 558.
Shuttle, Flight 8 correct, call ready, pushing start.
Will do, thank you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another stream where tonight we're going to be streaming a little bit more X-Plane. We're going to be doing a real world route tonight, and it's going to be a Ryanair route that we're going to be doing out of Stansted, and it's going to be into Dortmund in Germany. So, I mean, that being said, let's jump into the cockpit of our 737 and let's crack on with getting this going. Probably have to dive off for a second in just a minute because there should be some food turning up. So I've set the majority of the aircraft up so we don't have to hang about, so we can just get going. We've got some air traffic here at Stansted, which makes a nice change. So we're going to hopefully be able to get away with a bit of air traffic, so let's get the APU started.
North Shuttle 558, ready for push and start.
Shuttle 558, full position, contact, Stansted, ground velocity 1.725, right.
Around 12175, thank you, have a good day, North Shuttle 558.
Evening Pants, evening Connor, how are you both doing? Hope you are well. Right, so we've got the APU started and wait for that to come online. Get the fuel pumps on, get the electric hydraulic pumps on, window heat on. The APU can go on the bus. I keep getting stutters like this in X-Plane tonight, which is annoying the hell out of me. I don't think what's causing it other than possibly weather from VATSIM. Something coming into land over there. Still haven't got my model matching sorted for VATSIM yet. Right, let's see how well they can hear me on VATSIM, shall we? Last night away. Looking forward to coming back? I doubt it. Right, here we go. Let's get our clearance and get on out of here, shall we? Let's try and remember what my... what am I? I am RYR1788 Delta Lima. Try and remember that, shall we? Right, let's get ourselves some clearance. That's a clearance. A very good evening to you. This is RYR1788 Delta Lima, stand 7-1 left with Golf. Request clearance for Dortmund.
Station calling from here.
That's a clearance. Ryanair 75 Delta Lima radio check.
Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, Santa Lima, University 5.
And standard clearance Ryanair 75 Delta Lima 738 with information Golf, stand 7-1 left, request IFR clearance to Dortmund.
Ryanair 7 Barclays 43456, QNH1024.
Squawk 3456 QNH1024, Ryanair 75.
Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, confirm that's the Claxon 8 radio departure.
Claxon 8 Romeo, Squawk 3456 1024 on the QNH 75 Delta Lima.
Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, correct, call ready for push and start.
Okay, 75 Delta Lima. 3456 on the transponder. These stutters and that are starting to piss me off.
Stanside clearance, good evening, RYR1310 has a K43 with information call from board, requesting IFR clearance to Dublin, please.
Change that so it checks the weather every 15 minutes, we don't need it every 5. Right, so there we are, we've got the clearance. Let's just put 1024 in there. Get on
Sorry,
both
could you repeat that,
sides.
please? Sorry, for RYR1310.
All done. Read on for that. Set this for 33,000. Yeah, what is it that's causing this to keep fucking stuttering like that? Yeah, it's going to be really frustrating if that carries on doing this. Right, those are off, that's that. And clearance, Ryanair 75 Delta Lima is ready for push and start, stand 7-1 left, 1024.
75 Delta Lima, hold position, contact stands power on 123.8. Bye.
Tower 123.8, thanks for the help, goodbye. Ah, the hell is causing these stutters?
After delivery, good evening. Testing for mission goal. Requesting last time to Manchester.
Can't wait until they finally sort this codec out.
Pistol running on the clock. Before I'm starting back for the aircraft. Okay.
Wait for him to reply to this guy.
Golf Alpha receive Victor Alpha 777 expected clearance at the hold. Then ready taxi by Golf full uniform, runway 22.
Oh, uniform for my safety Golf Alpha. See Victor Alpha.
Stanza Tower, very good evening to you. Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, stand 71 with information Golf, request push and start. Oh, I wish it's...
Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, stand 71, push and start approved.
Push and start approved. 71, Ryanair 75 Delta Lima. Here we go.
And North Shuttle 558, railroad taxi. North Shuttle 558, taxi via Alpha Hotel Sierra Hold Sierra 1. Thank you,
Right, here we go.
Sierra 558.
Remove the chocks. Disconnect the GPU. Hope that this fucking thing stops constantly stuttering, doing my head in. Request pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
2 seconds, guys.
Is there one around your Yankee? Okay. Killed it. See Roger.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Only one Romeo Yankee after the Norwegian Boeing 78 passenger right to left on Alpha. Taxi stand 14 by Alpha. Passing traffic from the right to level on as you want Romeo Yankee. Thank you.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Right, we're back. Release the parking brake.
Starting pushback and you may start engines.
Steady, copy.
What Victor off we got?
There we go.
Welcome
Golf
on board
Alpha
this
Whiskey Victor
Ryanair
Alpha, hold
flight. May
position
we have
after
your
departure,
attention while
enter
we
left
point
hand
out
rear
some of
update,
the
not above
safety
altitude
features on this
1,400
Boeing
feet in VFR,
737-800 aircraft.
NH1024, Squawk
Please remove headphones
7040.
during this demonstration. There are 8 emergency exits, each marked with a red exit sign. Floor pass markings
Right,
along
watch
the
and see
cabin
whether or
aisle
not the
will
weather
illuminate
changes
in
now.
darkness and guide you to the nearest exit in an emergency. There are 4 main doors, 2 at the front of the cabin, 1 left
Golf
and
Victor
1
Alpha,
right,
correct
and
support
2
there.
at the rear of the cabin, 1 left
Okay.
and 1 right. There are 4 overwing exits in the center of the cabin, 2 left and 2 right. Please note.
Working Monday nights are back with a bump. That's not nice for you, mate. Not good. Right, let's get the engine started. Starting number 2. There we go. N2. We're doing flaps 1 on departure. We're flying to a new scenery I've downloaded for Dortmund in Germany. So it's not going to be anywhere hugely exciting. But the scenery over there looks pretty nice, so that should be good. If I stop getting these little micro freezes. But then if they carry on like this, I might disconnect from VATSIM. And
Victor Alpha ready for departure.
we'll just go for offline.
Golf Victor Alpha, stand by.
Right, that's one engine going.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Put the parking brake.
Disconnecting
Start
tow.
engine
Stand
1.
by.
Golf Victor Alpha, runway 22, clear takeoff, winds 250 degrees, 3 knots.
So he disconnects at the front.
Victor Alpha.
Now shuttle 558 via Romeo 1, line up runway 22.
And again with a stutter. Oh, what's the trim doing?
Now shuttle 558 via Romeo 1, line up runway 22.
No shuttle 553 ready for departure runway 22.
No shuttle 558 via Romeo 1, line up runway 22.
Line up runway 22, no shuttle 553.
Engines going. APU off. APU bleed off.
Tow is disconnected
Back to
and
auto.
bypass pin has been removed.
Back to auto.
Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Set there. Set those to continuous. We'll have the taxi light, runway turn off lights on. RTO set on there. So flaps 1. Please. Flaps 1. And let's go through the after start checklist. After start checklist, generators are on. Probe heat is on, anti-ice is off, isolation valve is auto, engine start levers are idle, flight deck door is closed and locked. That's the after start checklist complete. That stands the tower. Ryanair 75 Delta Lima is ready for taxi.
Runway 75 Delta Lima, contact, stand stay ground again on 121.725.
121.725 for ground, 75 Delta Lima.
No shuttle 558, traffic information to Cessna 172, left crosswind, runway 22, clear takeoff, winds 250 degrees, 3 knots.
Clear takeoff runway 22.
That's the ground. Very good evening to you, Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, ready for taxi. Anytime, sweetheart. That's the ground. Very good evening to you, Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, ready for taxi.
Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, hello. That's the ground, taxi holding point. Yeah.
These
1, runway 22 via Link Delta, Hotel.
apologies, Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, that was broken. Can you repeat that for me?
Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, taxi holding point Sierra 1, runway 22 via Link Delta, Hotel.
Link Delta Hotel Sierra 1 for runway 22, 75 Delta Lima. Super quick ATC. What, by me or by them? These freezes are doing my head in. I literally have no idea what could be causing them. What I do need to do, though, I do need to bring up the chart. Only freeze now will be my fault. While I just bring up the chart for Stansted. If I get to the end here.
That's the ground control 99 Foxtrot, ready for taxi.
Control 99 Foxtrot, taxi holding point Romeo 1, runway 22.
There we go. Delta is in front of us here, then hotel.
Juliet, Bravo, Hotel.
Okay.
Right, let's disconnect for a second. And then we'll reconnect. See if that helps at all. There we go. Right. We're going to try and climb out. We'll see what happens. If it keeps playing up, then we'll call it a day. Right, so the before takeoff checklist, takeoff briefing is reviewed, engine bleeds are on, engine start switch to continuous, and the cabin, we'll get them to secure now.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Cabin is secured, that's the before takeoff checklist complete. That's TAR8. Approaching Sierra 1 now. On the auto throttle.
Ryanair 75 Delta Lima, hello, Stansted ground, contact, London, correction, Stansted Tower 123.8, bye-bye.
Stansted Tower 123.8, thanks for the help, eh? Right. Do you know what? This stuttering is literally doing my head in to the extent that I'm strongly considering shutting the whole lot down and restarting it. That's a tower, good evening. Ryanair 75 Delta Lima Sierra 1, ready for departure.
Ryanair 75 Delta Lima behind the Cessna 172 from a touch and go, line up and wait to behind.
Behind the Cessna on the touch and go, line up and wait 22 behind Ryanair 75 Delta Lima. So you can see the model matching needs a bit of work. We've just got like a standard A320 there, which really needs to be a... Wow. Something really strange happening tonight. I'm guessing that's the Cessna there.
Approaching 2-2.
Lining up 22, 75 Delta Lima. Right, boys and girls, here we go. He says. Sim fucking freezes again.
On runway 22.
About our plans to expect that targeted evening. Senior approach runway 22 number 1. You must continue approach runway 22 alternative. Ryanair 75 Delta Lima traffic information is Cessna 172 left crosswind, runway 22 clear takeoff, starting 22, 9 degrees, 2 knots.
Copy the traffic, runway 22, cleared takeoff, 75 Delta Lima. Got some power on, that's 40 odd percent. Wind it on there, let's get the toga pressed. Wow. Toga. Wait and see if this decides.
80 knots.
Check.
Roger. Report final on week 3, number 2, following 737 main passengers on a 5 mile final. Caution rate direction.
D1,
You're up.
There
we go. Another stutter on a short climb out.
Land from the 22 Silver Air 75 Delta Lima, contact London Control 129.
121.9er 75 Delta Lima. Thanks for the help, mate.
1000.
75 Delta Lima, negative 129.
129.420. 129.6. Apologies, Ryanair 75 Delta Lima. the plane is on autopilot now, which is a bonus because it's doing my head in.
KLM 1022 London to Hello Squawk, climb now, level 90.
Identity, climb 5090, KLM 1022.
At least I thought it was. The plane is doing all sorts of bizarre stuff tonight.
Level 329 7590. Level 329 contact message radar 120.625.
FX radar 120.625 and 12329, good evening.
London, good evening. RYR75 Delta Lima, Clacton 8 Romeo.
RYR75 Delta Lima London to Hello Squawk, Canada, come down 5110.
I don't know 15075 Delta Lima.
London Control, good evening, KLM 206, flight number 220, speed 300 and 0.
KLM 2 just up 200.
Right, the writing in the middle of the screen is all the people who are on VATSIM at the moment. And to be honest, I'm getting to the stage where I might actually disconnect. (175) Delta Lima, I'm having issues with huge stutters on the sim. I'm going to disconnect. Thanks for the help all the same.
RYR75 Delta Lima, no problem.
There's no point in me hanging on and getting all of these stutters, especially if it's VATSIM that's causing it as well.
M1.
We'll see. It might just be a restart of the sim and we'll get going again. Right, so it's disconnected. Let's see if the sim still does it. If it does, then we know it's nothing to do with VATSIM. However, if all the little funky bits and pieces stop and we manage to carry on and fly nicely, then we know it is VATSIM that's causing. No, it's not VATSIM that's causing it. There's got to be something else conflicting somewhere. The annoying thing is that everything else is working and looking so nice together. Frustrating as sin, it really is. Yeah. Right, so I think the easiest way to deal with this is going to be to shut down X-Plane. And what we'll do is we'll shut down X-Plane and we're going to do a different flight instead. It's a shame because we had a chance for some good ATC on that flight, but something is just, yeah, oh yes, yeah, something is just hugely playing up there. So we'll do a different flight. We might jump back into that Banderanti and we'll do some flying around in that, I think. We can probably take that out of Norwich and we could take that out of Norwich and take it into Stansted. Do a bit of VATSIM flying on that. Or we could go back out of Dortmund, where I was planning on going out of originally, and checking out the scenery. X-plane's reloading. How's the holiday been anyway, Pants? Now VATSIM is supposed to be improving their voice codec, which is basically the software that all the voice sounds and that come through. It's supposed to be. How soon that comes out, I don't know. You hear the comparison that they've put up a video for on Facebook recently, and it's night and day the difference. It will make people so much more understandable, and it'll make life better for the stream. But we'll have to wait and see whether that happens or when that happens, more to the point. So, where shall we take our little Banderanti out of? I'm thinking, yeah, let's do Norwich. Let's do Norwich. We're just going to do some short runs in this to get used to it. Get used to going up and down. GA ramp, GA ramp. Go from stand 7. We're going to take the parcel force livery. Today we'll go in that one. I think that'll be quite a nice livery to go in. So start the flight and we'll let that load up. This will definitely be a good one to try out. Nice short flight. Nothing too challenging, but it will give us a chance to try this Bandit out again. And then what I'm tempted to do is then try another flight into Sandain again in the Bandit. Because now, with the scenery that I've got for it, flatten the runway out a bit so it's not like landing on the side of a hill, which is always a bonus. See how the stream is looking. On my phone, which is always a bonus, see if it's looking clear. It looks fairly clear to me. X-plane crashing, on the other hand, though, is not helpful. That's different. Right, okay, we'll restart that again then. Not having much luck this stream. Not having much luck at all. But we'll load back in. We'll get going. I should probably change the name of the stream while I've got a chance. So we'll do that now, in case anyone else joins in. Right. Start it again, shall we? See if I can get Stanley on the captain's seat again. Yeah, it was nicely done, that, mate. Very nicely done. That was a cracking picture, that was. update the information. Let's do the flight. Set it up. Yeah, that was very nicely done. The A320, which would have been the same type of plane that you'd have flown on out there, is actually on offer for X-Plane at the moment. I'm half tempted to get it. I am half tempted to get it. Connor's probably face palming right now at the thought of me. The thought of me getting an Airbus. He's not a fan. The stream, now that I've turned everything down, seems to be running a bit more smoothly, which is nice. Try seeing whether or not the... Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to click off anything. I'm going to let X-Plane load in first. Once it's loaded, then we will just no. Connor's like, no, just no, don't do it. I don't know, it's a nice bit of kit. Nice enough bit of kit to razz about in. I've got enough to keep my hands full at the moment with the 737 and now this Banderanti as well. So. Oh, nearly loaded. Nearly loaded. I have just gone and done something stupid by clicking off of we'll see. We shall see. I haven't yet, no. Can't wait to get off this bonanza now. Yeah, get into something something a little bit more powerful. No, I haven't tried Scum yet, actually, Jay, in all honesty. Here we go. Right, let's see if we carry on getting these little lags and bits and pieces all over the place. Right, this is looking a lot smoother at the moment. So this is the plane that we're now going to be flying in. Very different to the 737 we were in before. This is good fun to fly. Get rid of the cones. Get rid of the tail stand as well. We don't need that. So this is Norwich. Now, if we do jump into VATSIM, I don't think there's any air traffic on at Norwich. Right, let's try it. Let's risk it for a chocolate biscuit, shall we? X squawk box connect. We're going to be Golf Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee, and we are an Embraer 110 Banderanti. We shall connect. Now we'll see if all of these crazy stutters and that come back in, then we know it was definitely VATSIM. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pull up the map and see what kind of air traffic coverage we've got out here. I'll let this look around fine. So you can see as we sit in the back, it's a lot smaller than the 737. There you go. That's the view from the back all the way to the front. Alright. Here we are. We're outside of we could go into Cambridge actually. Cambridge looks like it's got someone on tower. Or we could go Stansted and we could try and shoot an ILS. What do we reckon? Take this into Stansted, shall we? Right. Actually, let's turn the radios off. Let's get the engine started first.
36 remember Alpha, remember the D7 flight was 160 by Sabre.
Right. So we want the inverters on.
Level 160 home level by Sabre.
Have the beacon on, nav lights on. No smoking in the seat belts. That'll be all that we'll need to start off with. And let's get the fuel pumps on. Always a good start. Let's start the right hand engine. There we go, that's the right engine starting. Bring the RPM right up. You'll watch the propeller will catch up in a minute.
Good evening, Runner 240. Still heading 255 and heading to flight level 220.
I should do.
Runner 240, so hello D75180.
Descent to sector 90, Runner 240.
There we go. Now we're spinning up. Back up front, let's get the generators on. It's all good, we'll turn in-flight ignition on so that we've got that. Let's start engine number 2. Oh, hold it. Yeah, the reflections are nice on this plane actually.
Runner 240, we're assuming I'll get a DC, Albert 1 Charlie arrival.
See
Albert
that.
1 Charlie arrival, Runner.
Engine starting to spool up nicely.
Runner
There we go.
We're assuming I'll get on navigation at Lafra, leave it out of Apple above the Lafra.
There she is.
Direct to Lafra, Runner.
It's a lot noisier than the 7.3. Which is a lot more basic. But that's pretty much what we like. Let's get the radios on. Weather radar will leave in standby. What's that? The left generator's not on. It is now. That's all the warning lights down there clear. That's it all. All lights up nicely. Do a quick flight control check. It is, do you know, it's a pretty sound looking little aircraft to be honest. Turn on nose wheel steering. And we're going to be free basically to do what we want for the most part. I'm probably going to head into... We'll head into Cambridge I think. We'll just basically do a direct out of here and we'll head into Cambridge. So we'll put the taxi light on, release the parking brakes, let's get going. Should be able to, I would assume, taxi out of here to the runway and then we'll backtrack. I know what I should do actually. Let's set the view up how I want, and if I enable temporary positioning there, I can look over here, and then when I flick back, it's gone back to the original view. Here we go, she's sprightly enough. Definitely going to be good enough for what we need. Right, so we're approaching the runway. Pull the power all the way back. Put the landing lights on. And we'll put the strobes on. So we're entering the active runway. And bring up the checklist. Before takeoff checklist, utility lights we don't really need. Inertial separation we've got on, flat 25%. We can go through the views here and we can check the flaps. 25% there. Yes, they are. Do the same with this view actually with, oh, what am I doing?
So 6-member Alpha Negative, descend to flight level 80.
And we'll put temporary position on that as well.
Right, and 240, descend flight level 120.
And then at the end of the runway we'll spin round. Trim tabs are set, takeoff date is checked, takeoff briefing is complete, strobe landing and taxi lights are on. Flight instruments and radios are set for departure. Transponder, if installed, it is. Oh, so there you go. GoPro view from out the front. Right. So aircraft's all lined up on the runway. Bring some power on.
10240, descend flight level 120.
Fuel condition levers, annunciator panel is checked, and the parking brake we will release. Let's go flying. Here we go. Above 80 knots, so let's turn off the nose wheel steering. Let's use the rudder from now on. There we go. Rotate. Look at that, look. Easily up into the air and accelerating away. As we pass through 400 feet, we'll put the yaw damper on. Bring the flaps up just before we get out of the white arc speed. You can see the nose drop there. Get rid of the checklist. Now what I'm going to do is let's trim for about 1500 feet per minute. Let's get the autopilot on. Put it in heading mode. The pitch, so it's doing about 1000 feet per minute. London, very good evening. Golf Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee.
Golf Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee, London Control, what's your message?
Golf Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee is a Banderanti shortly airborne from Norwich, routing VFR to Cambridge. Request flight following.
Golf Tango Yankee, British flight running for me, Mo Charlie, and then I'll get back to you.
Mo Charlie in the flight plan, roger, check. Tango Yankee.
Flight King 7 Tango, expect flight level 80 level rock up when ready, descend flight level 120.
Really? On a flight plan for VFR. Alright, make of that what we will.
Airline King 7 Tango.
Flight King 7 Tango, expect flight level 80 level rock up when ready, descend flight level 110.
When ready, descend flight level 110 to...
We'll level out at 3,500 feet.
King 7 Tango.
Control 99 Foxtrot, contact Manchester radar 118.575.
Bye-bye.
Emirates 1186, turn left heading 340 degrees, descend to altitude, direction 3,500.
Left 340 down to 3,500.
There we go. So that's that setup. We're cruising at 3,500 feet. Bring the map over.
Emirates 1186, turn left heading 290 degrees, cleared ILS approach on way 25.
Left 290, clear left.
Oh, I got rid of that when I needed it. 3021.
King 7 Tango, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, flying King 7 Tango.
Golf Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee swap 0351 basic service.
0351 basic service, Tango Yankee.
Good evening, how long does it? Control of Finnair 451, flight level 340 with you.
Finnair 451 London Control. Hello, Rosen 4 Delta arrival.
Here we go. So we're getting a basic service, and let's punch into here. We now want to go direct to E.
Right, Finnair 451, descend flight level 200.
E.
When descend to flight level 100, Finnair 451. And cross on the floor there, Finnair 451.
S. C. Cambridge. Activate that. Come down here, and we'll change that from Volok to GPS. Put that on there, and if we put this in nav mode now, it'll come to the left, and we're now going to be heading directly towards Cambridge. Come back on the power a little bit.
Speedbird 29 Golf London, squawk 0334, Northington 1 Bravo arrival.
0334 Bravo.
Banking 7 Tango, contact London Control 127.1.
127.1, Line King 7 Tango, thank you very much for that. Good night.
London Control, good evening. Rest of money, sorry, establish 25. Station going somewhere.
Fairly. Not too late tonight, to be honest, mate, because it's going to be work tomorrow, unfortunately.
Sorry, station going on, just on the line again.
Right, so let's choose the approach. So if we
Tom 23 London, Roger, break,
select the approach, and we're going to take ILS 13 vectors, load it.
DD20 Romeo, descend flight level 100.
DD20 Romeo, descent to flight level 100.
Draft 6-1 entry controlled airspace, radar control.
Sure.
Golf Tango Yankee, contact F6 radar 120.625, they have your details.
120.625 Tango Yankee, thanks, buddy. Go over to Essex.
Runner 21 correct, Tango London, hello, chase 2 Delta, arrival. Sound 2 tree, squawk 0 tree 21.
Right, clear that. Wrong one again. Right, there we go, and go direct there. Essex radar, very good evening to you. Golf Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee Embraer 110, currently routing direct Cambridge.
Left heading 160
Go through Foxtrot Tango, somewhere.
Chilling with a beer while watching. What a good way to do it, mate.
Runner 24, 24 track mile descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1024.
Right, so we're basically going to self-position for the ILS. So let's pitch down a little bit. In fact, first things first. Bring power right back. We are storming in there at the moment. 500 feet per minute in the descent. We'll get down to 3,000 feet. Find out what the frequency is. For the ILS in Cambridge.
Running 240, turn right, heading 040 degree.
Turn right, heading 040
The ILS runway 23 course is 230. Which it doesn't want to let us set up at the moment.
Tango Yankee, yes, it's radar. Hello, sorry for the message.
And got Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee is currently routing direct Cambridge, request basic service.
Go Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee, Roger, is a basic service outside controlled airspace Cambridge QNH 1024.
QNH 1024 basic service, Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee. Right, so now we can come off of this and we can swap over to the nav because we're in heading mode. So now we can start actually setting up proper for the ILS. So we want to get the course to 230, frequency 111.3, which we do on here. So you push that.
Go Tango Yankee, squawk 7405.
7405 Tango Yankee. There we go, so 111.3 is set, 230 is set, so we're happy. Now we've just got to wait. There we go, so that's obviously now identified, and that should now flick out to the left in a minute, and I should probably have been watching the fact that I've been descending because I'm down at 1500 feet now. Isn't where I wanted to be.
Right, sir, just confirm you're turning right 040 degrees, flying the wrong direction.
So I'm actually going to pitch up a little bit. Get back up to 2000. Not I'm too worried about that, that'll actually help me slow down. My fault for getting too involved in the everything else.
UV15 Victor November, active radar, hello, contact 0.Alpha 1, runway 26.
What we'll do is we'll put the altitude hold on. The information that I'm getting from the ILS doesn't make any sense at the moment. That's saying I need to steer right, and yet I know full well, looking at the ILS there, that I need to steer left if anything. Here's 2,000 feet. Engage altitude mode. Let that level out. Speeds come back nicely.
Tango Yankee, report the field.
Okay, Golf Tango Yankee. And Golf Tango Yankee's field in sight.
Tango Roger, you are cleared visual approach runway 234.
Visual runway 23, number 1, Golf Tango Yankee. May make this a low approach and go around if possible.
Golf Tango Yankee, Roger. Contact tower now 125, just the line number 1.
125.9 at Golf Tango Yankee. Didn't realise there was anyone on for tower. Am I slow enough to get the gear down? Yes, I am. and some flaps.
Running 240, turn right, 305, 3rd degree.
And Cambridge Tower, very good evening to you. Golf Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee is 4 mile final runway 23, touch and go.
Golf Foxtrot Lima Tango Yankee, Cambridge Tower, runway 23, clear touch and go, assessment 282 degrees for 1 knot.
Clear touch and go, runway 23, Golf Tango Yankee. Right, here we go. Get full flaps out now. Let's see if we can actually make this a halfway decent approach, shall we? Right, head-in mode can come off, out mode can come off. We'll get down a little bit lower, we'll turn the yaw damper off. We're going to make this a touch and go, we're not going to land completely. We're going to touch down, get some power on, and take off again. Speed's a bit low at the moment, so let's get some more power in. There we go. Speed's coming back. Much slower, we'll stall when we round out, so we don't want to get too much slower.
Go, Tango Yankee, I'm looking up now, so your departure contact is radar 120.65. Yeah.
20625, thanks for the help, Wayne. And we're down. Speed coming up again. Let's get airborne. Positive brake, you're up. Flaps up. Come back on the power. We'll keep this nicely in the circuit if we can.
Station calling standby. Running 240, turn left, heading to 6 degrees. Want to establish localize at runway 2 descend with the climb.
There.
Coming back on the power again. Let's come around the corner.
Runway 701, report passing altitude. Runway 701.
I don't think I've concentrated so hard in ages.
In contact landing control now, 127.
There we go, roll out. Power's down there. There's the airfield to our left.
Runway 701, disregard, maintain the tree and seat on closing, climb flight level 7, level 7, station that was calling out to trade offside again.
So what we'll do is we'll leave it until now, so we're late downwind. Let's get the gear down, come back on the power, the first stage of flaps out, slow everything down. You can see with the first stage of flaps tries to lift the nose up and then it comes back down again, so we'll trim that out. This is the kind of plane that we need to get Connor into.
Right, 701, turn left and 2703.
For air hauler. Make sure we don't let the speed get too low. 100 knots is pretty good.
83 Zulu Victor, fly heading 030 degrees.
There we go, there's the base leg. And back on the power and we'll start descending. Get some more flaps in. Not coming around now. Starting to like the head movements with XP Realistic more and more. Okay, well, obviously went a little bit wider in the circuit than I'd realised. More flaps. Keep coming back on the power and keep descending. So we're full flaps now.
That's 701 resuming navigation direct to Compton.
Hundreds knots, gears down 3 green, flaps are full.
Redirect contact from London.
Here we go.
7.1.
I like it. Bit more power on as I bring the pitch up, so we don't get too slow. The more I fly this, the more I get used to it. Still a little bit high. There we go. Two whites, two reds. Hey, I smoking. Hey, welcome to stream. I'm flying the Embraer 110 Banderanti. Don't sink too much. Oh, that was hard. That was very hard. Positive rate, you're up. That was very hard. I got to let the speed get a bit low and it just sunk then. Stuff you can see, in fact you probably can't see it, it's over there on its way into Luton, I'd imagine. Glad not on that landing, yeah, I'll bet you are. Bring the flaps up. There's 1,000 feet. Let's come around to the left. Let's try and actually get a decent landing in this time. And then we'll go and try and land at Sandain in Norway again. Take this in there. So when I get onto the downwind leg, I'll put in the outside view so you guys can see what she looks like. Especially Smoking because he's just joined us. Come back round to the left again. This is what she looks like from the outside. So we're just completely hand flying at the moment. No automation. Trying to get everything dialed in. Here's a view from the inside. Go over this side and you can see there's Cambridge Airfield there. Outside view there that needs a little bit of tweaking. There we go. Guarantee I've descended there. Yeah, I have. Right, the speed's coming back nicely. Where's the airfield? The airfield is there. So the speed's back. You can go gear down. 25 on the flaps. Bit of trim to keep the nose down.
There you go, buddy.
There you go. View with the wheels out. Speed's coming back. Next stage of flap. Turn in now.
Turn right, 2303, cleared islands from
Don't want the speed to get too low. There's the base leg. Here we go, look, we're right on the glide slope from the get-go this time round. Get full flaps out. Line her up. Keep it descending. We're high. We are now anyway. 100 knots. Try and keep her pegged for about there. That seems to be a pretty nice speed to work with. There we go. Getting a little bit low, I think. Squeeze more power. It's a turboprop, so we don't need to pull the power off until literally we touch down.
Easy 15 bits November runway 26, clear for takeoff, surface wind 2733, 4 knots.
You take off on
That's a bit more like it, Jake. That's a bit more like it. Positive rate, gear up. Flaps up. And do you know what? I'm going to disconnect from VATSIM now. We don't need to be on it. It's not doing anything for us. Right. Let's actually let's quickly watch the replay of that, shall we? Watch the replay. That'll be something a little bit interesting. Oh, what's happened with the view here? Why is that all over the place? Oh, there we go. Sort itself out. We'll do a nice little view from outside, shall we? This one was much nicer than the one before. That's more like it. There we go. Let's see what it's like for the guys in the back as we get airborne again. Gear coming up. Any minute now the flap should come up. There they go. Right. So here we go. Climbing out again. There's 1,000 feet. Crosswind. Flatten out literally for a split second and then we'll come back around again. We'll make this landing one where we stop and taxi off this time. Then we can go and start trying our skills somewhere a little bit more challenging. Smaller runway. And more challenging terrain around it. There we go. Feet there, send in a little bit, trim that out, come back on the power, tweak the trim again, try and slow the plane down, don't be going too fast. Ah, wrong key. There we go. That was the one I wanted. There's the airfield there. Got a little bit low now. So if I leave the power where it is and we climb back up to 1,000 feet, that should bring us nicely into the speed where I can put the gear down. And the first stage of flaps. There we go. Plane should slow down nicely of its own accord now, which it is. Don't need to gain any more height, we just need to hold it. Start coming round now. Watch the speed, we're doing 120 at the moment. There we go, there's base. There's the runway. Ballooned a little bit, having put the flaps out then. Here we go. Now as the plane slows back down with those extra flaps in, the nose drops again. I'm going to hold it. I want to stop doing that as well. That'd be helpful. Here we go. Round we come. Been about 105 knots at the moment. Last stage of flap out. Right, high so we can come right back on the power. Push the nose down. If I get 2 soft landings in a row, then we can try somewhere else. I screw this one up. Then we'll end up going around and doing it again. There we go. Now we're getting into the area where I want to be. As I said last time, we'll leave the power on. It's a turbo prop. That's a bit of a bouncer. Not that heavy. More bouncy than I would have wanted. Oh, the reversers do work on this. I didn't know they actually worked on this. And the nose wheel steering on, and take the last turn in. Which I believe there's one down here. Or have we got a backtrack? No, it looks like we've got a backtrack. So, slow down. Spin her around. We'll taxi back. Now, flying into relatively big, well I say relatively big, it's Cambridge, it is a nice big runway. Flying into airfields like this is one thing. Taking this into somewhere like Sandain, that's going to be a whole different kettle of fish, so we'll set that up. We'll find a nice local airfield to Sandain that we can take off from. This is the only thing I don't like about this XP Realistic, is how it screws about when you brake. Look, there you go. Look, I brake and the head shaking the thing just goes all over the place. Might even turn that off. Right, let's put the parking brake on. We'll bring those back. Switch everything off. Like so. Turn the fuel pumps off. Inverters off. Generators off. Battery's still on. I think that's like air conditioning or something that must be on then. Oh no. I don't know. But the battery's still on. According to that, the battery should be off. Very interesting. Turn all of those bits off. Inertial separators can go off. And let's quickly do a replay of the last landing. Let's watch from the passenger's view. Now, it's only my 4th or 5th landing in this aircraft, so we're bearing in mind I've done 3 of them tonight. I'm fairly happy with how we're getting. Definitely need to get some ortho for this area. Yeah, it wasn't all that bad. A little bit all over the place. But I'll take that for the time being. Right, now, more importantly, let's have a look. Right, so whereabouts am I on the chart? That's the States. That's going to be no good. Let's see if I can bring up the left screen. See if that's gonna help. That screen hasn't come up for whatever reason, so have a look. Let's find Sandain. Right, so Sandain is there. What airfields have we got nearby? (3,600 foot) from Ringaland. Right, so that's where we'll go to. File, flight configuration. We'll do a new flight. We'll just do it in. Let's change. Let's not do it in the Parcel Force livery anymore. We'll do it in the Willow Air livery. And we're going to go to Echo November Bravo Lima. There's not a lot there, but I don't really care at the moment. I'm going to start a nice new flight. We're going to go from there, and we are going to fly into Sandain. Now, why is my screen capture for the other screen not working? There we go. Okay, that one's decided to work now. Right, so oh, have we got a chance for here? Oh, we do have a chance for this little place. That's nice. Let's see, let's look at the airport chart. So where we're going from is another tiny little Norwegian airfield. So we'll taxi out of here. Thank you very much for the follow, Smoke. Or do you prefer Al? Or let me know. Let me know in chat how you prefer to be addressed, and X-Plane don't crash on me. It's either crashed or it's actually sorted out loading in at the next place. Fingers crossed it's the latter. Oh, it is. Bloody hell. Right. Bloody hell. Welcome to the arse end of nowhere. In Norway. Literally the arse end of nowhere. Get rid of the left screen overlay so that you can see we are literally in the middle of nowhere. But we're only a short flight from Sandain. So let's get this aircraft set up, shall we? And what I'll do is we'll do a better pushback. Oh look, there's rain and everything. So we'll get the aircraft set up. Go on external power. Hydraulics. Put the standby hydraulic pump on. Some hydraulic pressure. Inertial separators will have open. The inverters can go on. That can go off. We'll have the beacon on. The nav lights on. The landing and taxi lights can stay off for the moment. Seatbelts and no smoking can go on. Actually, no, we can't go off external power. Let's go off battery. And let's call in better pushback, shall we? So where are we going to push back this wee beastie?
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged.
Plan acknowledged.
Call me to the menu when you are ready.
Okay, well we're ready now. Better pushback.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
So he's going to be in one of his little little tugs, I think. Do the tug cab view. Oh man, that's a bit freaky. Woo! Listen to the power in this thing. This is by Dreamfile Labs, this, so you've got loads of click points around the aircraft. For example, look, is it going to let me choose one there? No, it's not. About there. No, it's not going to let me choose them from this view. But it does mean a lot of the time that you can put chocks on the aircraft and all the rest of it.
All doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect. Windshield strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
So, here we go. You watch with this one. We'll release the parking brake. He uses his little winch, tow the aircraft onto his little bit and lift it up, like so. Lifts up the nose, and then he jumps to go and push us back.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
We may start engines. That's very nice of him. So we're starting to push back. That's all good. Let's run those fully forward. And let's start engine number 2. Why do I not feel like I'm seeing anything on engine 2? It's because I'm not. Because I'm an idiot. I'll interrupt that. Start it again. Hope that we don't cook the battery. No, battery's fine temperature wise. There we go. See one engine spinning. Let's look at it from his tug view, shall we? All the water spray and everything. I'm sure he'll be appreciating that loads. I'll tell you what I haven't done actually. Let's put that on. That'll look a bit more realistic then. There we go. Actually looks like the nose wheel's turned then. And let's start engine number 1. Generator on there. I think I had killed the battery actually.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Set the parking brake.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
There we go. There goes engine 1. He's good. You can disconnect, go back up here, switch on generator 1, return static heat can go on.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Thank you very much. There we go. 25 degrees on the flaps. You should be able to see there. Just about see it. No smoking and fasten seatbelts on the sign. All lit up nicely in the back. Bring up the artificial horizons. Bring the props forward, he's driving off over there. Let's taxi out. We're going to taxi down here and backtrack. Looking at that windsock. I love these little Norwegian airfields, they're great. Brake here. Let's turn 180. Look, you can't even see the end of the runway here, look. Bring it to a stop. Let's quickly line up the heading bug. Flaps are set. The fuel pumps are on, they're all forward. That's all good. Landing and taxi lights on. Put the wipers into fast. Got the power on, let's go. Kick to the floor. Oh, hello. That was a nasty little kick to one side there. Positive rate, you're up. pass through 400 feet, put the yaw damper on. Bring the flaps up. Nose is going to drop a little bit as we gain some speed. Then we'll pitch back up. We'll go for 1,000 feet per minute in the climb. We'll put the autopilot on for the moment. We're going to head-in mode. We're going to come round slightly to the left. That weather out there, that's not the nicest. So passing through 3,000 now. Let's bring up the approaches for Sandane. We're up and flying. We're going to turn the windscreen wipers off. So what we want to do, for starters, we definitely want to get some ice protection on. We climb up through this weather, and right, we are now off to a tiny little airfield in Norway, where last time I tried to go in, Jay, I completely ballsed up the landing. You'll like this approach. It's a little bit more picturesque. I mean, well, you can see from the scenery out here already. Let's get rid of the GPS for a moment. The scenery is definitely more interesting already. So let's head to a point called Kuvov. Going to be the first one we're going to go for. And oh no, not Kuval. So we're going to put direct there in on the flight plan. We don't want to go direct to fucking Cambridge. Ah, for fuck's sake. Right, let's just put the airport in. Start with. So we want E, N, Sandane. So let's put that in GPS, that in GPS, and we'll go nav mode. So the aircraft now is going to fly right over the top of the airfield. It's only, look, it's 20 miles away. That's how close this airport is from where we just took off. But look at this view now that we're up above the clouds. We'll stop the climb at 8,000 feet. That's where we'll stop the climb. So we're just coming through 7,500 feet now. We'll pitch down a bit. Slow our rate of climb. Watching the aircraft will come back round to the right in a second. So, the approach that we're going to fly is going to be the RNAV into runway 08, but it's not going to be all automated, as you will soon see. Out mode once we hit 8,000. There's 8,000. Go over down here. Right, so here we are. We're heading towards Sandane, so let's load up the approach. So procedure, select approach, and we want the RNAV 08 GPS. And let's go to Etnek. We'll load that. We'll go to flight plan. And in fact, we'll go procedure. No, we will. We'll just go direct. No. Flight plan. Clear that. That's not what we want. Direct. Activate. There we go. Right. So we're now heading direct to the first point on the approach. So let's bring the approach up on screen. Here it is. So we're now going to be flying to Etnek. We're going to descend down and we're going to arrive there at 5,800 feet. And then we're going to approach this point Kubov and we're going to turn left. We're going to head down here and we're going to be checking the altitude. So we're going to descend down to 5,000 feet at this point here. And then carry on descending 4.5 degrees until we reach this point SD400. At SD400 we disconnect the autopilot and we fly visually in to land on the runway, which is there. So we've got high terrain off to that side and this is all surrounded by water. So that's how we fly this approach. So if I now go to VNAV, and choose $5,800, 0 before, Etnek, descending at 1,000 feet per minute. In fact, let's make it, call it 800 feet a minute. So in 3 minutes we start our descent. That's how this works. And we descend at 800 feet per minute, and we should be at 5,800 feet by that point at neck, which is where we start our procedure. Two and a half minutes. As you can see, there's not a lot that we can see of the outside world at the moment. It's all pretty grey. But I'm sure, even Jay, you can get an idea of how small the airfield is when that's how the runway is shown on the chart. Literally that little box there. That gives you an idea. And we're doing it in crappy weather. But as I said, I've changed the mesh this time. So hopefully, the main thing that should be different is we shouldn't be landing on a hill. Because where I had it set up before, it literally was like landing on a hill. Set the auto feather. 1 minute. So we need to start descending. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves a little bit from our earlier approaches. I can't remember where we left from. Where did we leave from? Can't remember now. ENDL. So ENSD. There we go. So our decision altitude on this approach. I've got to start descending, I missed that. Come back on the power. There we go. So we need to watch for 5,800 feet. Then we'll hold there. We should be level by the time we reach Etnek. I've descended too quickly. Here we go, look. Here's 6,000 feet that we're coming up on. Oh, and here's that next. So yeah, we're pretty much there. We're a couple of 100 feet high at the moment. So I'll pitch down a little bit more. And we've burst out below the clouds. This is a good sign for our decision altitude. So we can't go below 2,500 feet unless we can see the airfield. Put the altitude hold on. Bit slow to react, but never mind. So here you can see, here's the water, which if we bring this up, you can see the water that basically we're going to be flying down and over. The speeds come right back now, which is good. Let's start getting configured for landing. The weather does look quite cool, yeah. Nice. Now I'm going to be flying about 120 knots, so I'm going to need about 900 feet per minute descent. Once I get down to 5,000 feet, so we should turn any second now. It's loading in and out a little bit. Right, we're slow enough. And we're just about to reach the initial approach. So I'm extending the gear. Six seconds to our left turn. Here it comes. Left turn now, and we'll pitch down. We want to descend down to 5,000 feet now. .500 feet to go. You can see the terrain just appearing in front of us, look. 300 feet to go. Let's bring the pitch up so we don't descend too quickly. Speeds up a little bit compared to where I wanted it, so I'll bring the power back a bit more. Right, here we go. There's 5,000 feet. Now we want to watch for the GPS to flick over to the next point, because then that's when we need to start really thinking. Here we go. 7 seconds. Right. So remember, we're looking for 2,500 feet now. As we pass 2,500 feet, then we have to see whether or not we can see the runway. Sending below the cloud layer, and again you can can see all of the terrain in front of us. Go, coming down through 4,000 feet, 4,100 feet, and now you can start to see how pretty the scenery looks around here. What does the yaw damper do? Sorry, Smokin', I missed that from earlier, if you're still in here. The yaw damper basically, it stops the plane yawing about, which is a motion which is pretty uncomfortable for passengers in the back. Coming down nicely, and I'm already visual with the airfield. That view's not going to help, to be honest. If you look out, we can just about make out the beacon on the airfield there. So we can already say that we're visual. We've got our final approach flap now. The effect that that has on the speed and the rate of descent. We're slightly below 120 now. Rate of descent, we're still fine. It's at 2,500 feet, which is only a couple of 100 feet away. We're going to turn the autopilot off. I'm going to fly it in by hand. There we go, 2,500 feet, autopilot's coming off. Right, so as we get a little bit lower to the ground, let's turn off the prop sync. Not forgetting that at this moment in time we have got the aircraft fully configured for landing. So you can see the runway. That's a pretty stiff wind that we've got. Turn nav mode off now, and we'll turn the yaw damper off. Here we go, 100 knots. Oh, let's not get too low and close into those trees. Start turning away from that hill now, like so. There's the runway. Full flaps, the gear is down. Here comes the turn. Right back on the power because it's a bit of a dive of an approach. There we go. $100 knots feels so fast right now. And we're down. Oh. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, we're off the runway. We are off the runway. Oh, oh, that was shocking. That was going so nicely as well. Ah. Man, that was going so nicely, and the wind just took us at the last minute. The wind just took us at the last minute. Viking, hey. How are you doing? Thank you very much for the raid. And for the host, my friend. I hope you're well. You just caught me at the worst minute. That was one of... so pissed off with myself right now. That was looking so good. Don't get me wrong, challenging airport, challenging approach. Could have been so much better. So much better. Yeah. I think that emoji about sums it up there, Connor. Sandane is rapidly becoming my my bogey airport. Demoness, hey. Demoness again's at the back with the drinks cart. Demoness is all about the drinks. Thank you very much, Viking. Yeah, everyone from Viking Stream, welcome. I am Chase Gaming. I'm one of the founding 2 members of Team Beanie. Oh, stop. Yeah, this is what I stream. Flying about in these things. So, right, let's shut it down. Let's watch the replay of that and see just how bad it really was. I almost don't want to watch the replay, to be honest, because I know it's going to be awful. That's all off. Shut down the engines. And see how bad it was for this landing. Right. Turn all these bits off up the top as well. They're all off. Right. Flight. Toggle replay mode. This should be quite a scenic little bit to watch, if nothing else. Let's watch it from about here. If you're in the back and you're looking out, and you know that's your view, you know it's going to be a little bit spicy. If the ground's coming that close to you when you're on approach. See how bad it felt for the people in the back. So this, for anyone that's just joined, all the guys from Viking Stream, this is a little airfield in Norway called Sandane. And yeah, it's a tiny airfield, and the weather that I'm trying to land in, well, it's not the best, let's put it that way. But that being said, that's half the fun of doing this. You want to put yourself to the test. I don't actually think the touchdown was too bad. No, see, the touchdown wasn't. The touchdown was quite smooth. I must have had my foot on the rudder pedals. I bet I had the nose wheel steering still engaged. So the touchdown itself was good. If I was just being rated on the touchdown, then I'd have been happy with that. God, that's frustrating. Basically, with this plane, so that you can taxi on the ground, there's a little switch that you can put on which allows you to steer the nose wheel. It's just down here. Just down here, that little green switch. Now, normally, as I'm coming in for landing, I'd have that switched off, because you don't want to steer with the nose wheel straight away. You're going too quick. But I obviously left that switched on. Oh, man. Definitely would have been a squeaky bum moment. Yeah. Yeah. I'd go with that. I mean, let's see if I can rewind it, and we'll see what it would have looked like for any. See what it would have looked like for any spotters. Did I? Yeah, I did actually come off the runway, didn't I? Ah, bollocks. Let's see what I may have even spilled my drink. Right, here we go. Whereabouts is this looking from? Right, okay, so this is looking literally right from the end of the runway at the plane. So it'll give you some idea of how interesting the approach is. Literally coming down a valley in Norway. Here we go. Yeah, look at how much I'm having to fight the wind there, look. How much I'm having to fight the wind, and then literally watch as soon as the nose wheel goes down. Yeah, there it is. Nose wheel steering, you fucking idiot. Oh man, that is frustrating. That is frustrating, because otherwise that would have been a really nice landing, given the conditions. Ah! What's the time? It's 10 o'clock now. I've got to try Pyro, haven't I? If you guys haven't seen Pyro, let me show you the YouTube video, and we'll see why I want to. You'll see why I want to try it.
The rocket equation. It's a beautiful
Blah, blah,
thing.
blah, blah.
No astronaut.
Yes, that's Chris Hadfield. That's not what we're interested in, though. Right, here we go.
You see now, we still don't see the runway. The runway is behind this ridge. 1,000.
Checked.
Right. This is why I want to try this approach. Bearing in mind, right, so here is where the, let's see if I can show on here. That is where the runway is. There.
Wind check, please.
Wind check, over down 401. 150 degree, 12 knots.
I mean, look at this, look. Look at how close they end up getting in here now, look. So this is why I want to try. Tinus 1983, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for the follow.
Spoilers.
That's why I want to try that approach. I want to give that a go and see just how good that is. I mean, come on, it's got to look a little bit better than this, isn't it? Surely. This is the frustrating bit. The touchdown itself was actually quite smooth. If I'd just been using rudder, I'd have been fine. But no, wait for that nose gear to touch down. There's the smoke. Now watch the plane go. Bollocks. Right, so we've got to go and try Pyro. I've got to try and redeem myself. I've got to try and redeem myself. Change location. VNKT. We're going to go from Kathmandu, and we're going to fly from Kathmandu, and we're going to go into, unless there's anyone anywhere else closer, I don't think there is. We'll go into Paro. So let's go from Kathmandu and let's try the 737. We won't go in there in Ryanair. Go in there in our fancy colours. We'll do that. And we're just going to we're going to sit at the end of the runway. I'm not going to worry about taxiing and all the rest of it. We'll start the plane up and we'll just get up into the air and we'll get going. Save having everyone having to wait around for me to set everything up. Let's start this new flight. So here, Paro is an airport that's up in the Himalayas. So it's two airports that I've got on my most difficult approaches kind of list that I know I've got good scenery for. One is Paro, the other one is Sandane, which we've just tried. So Sandane didn't go too well tonight, so we're going to try Paro. And we'll cross everything that it works okay. I've also got to hope that X-Plane hasn't decided to crash on me, which it's looking a little bit dubious like it might have. Yes, it has. Right, X-Plane's crashed on me. So, we'll restart X-Plane. And we'll try the next flight. So, restart it. So if you guys have got any other airports that you know that you've had particularly, I don't know, spicy encounters with, shall we say. Actually, do you know what we should try? We've tried Paro before. We'll leave Paro for another night. I think we should try Gibraltar. Because we could make a nice short flight for Gibraltar. So I think we should go into Gibraltar and we'll go from somewhere like a ref, pretty close. So I'm going to let X-Plane load up. I am going to look at trying to find right. I wonder how. I'm no flight expert, but isn't there a spicy airport in Japan? Oh, Sion, says Connor. Sion could be another good one. Ah, you're thinking, Deemless, you're thinking of Kai Tak, which was Hong Kong. And yes, that is a spicy approach. That is a spicy approach. I might have to download some scenery for some of these though, so that we can actually get them looking halfway decent. So Gibraltar, let's have a look. Hang on, I'm going to see what we've got, see what we can download for both of those. Yeah, they've got some scenery for Sion. Not the most fantastic scenery I've ever seen in my life, but yeah, that looks like that'll do. That looks like that'll do okay. Right, so let's download that. Download Sion to start off with. That's going to be the first one that we'll go into. And basically what I'll do... Yeah, no, that's fine, Demoness. Yeah, that's a good idea. Kaitak is definitely one that I want to put on my list. So I will create a list. And you know what? I'll probably actually create some logos for the spicy airports. I think that's what we'll call the approaches. Okay. Thanks for that, Chrome. Yeah. We'll have our spicy approaches stream. That's what we'll do. Let's see on. Let's get this installed now, shall we? Right. Custom scenery. Drop in C. We've got that. As I said, the pictures don't look out of this world, but I haven't seen any other alternatives to it. Have a look. Look like, no, that looks rubbish. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Okay. That looking, no, it looks a bit planed. It may be the first one. I think the first one's going to be the... Oh, what that's all about. First one's going to be the best of a not hugely exciting mix. Not that one. First one. Not the main one. We are. It looks like it could be okay. As I said, it's not going to be anything special, but I'll have a look at that. We'll load. In fact, we'll load into Sion. We'll see what it looks like to start with, and we will. Let me just organise it so it's in the right place in the folders, and yeah, we'll have a play from there. We'll see what we can do. I'll give you something to talk to me about tomorrow, Connor, at work. Unless are you on nights tomorrow? For you who don't know, Chope, who's in here, works with me. He has the misfortune of having to see me for 4 days every week, basically. Right. So I'm going to have to restart X-Plane, aren't I? We'll load in at Sion. We'll see what it looks like, and then we'll head out, and we'll come back. Slavstar, hey, how you doing? Purple Cap. It's actually a New York Giant. Oh, you're on days. Oh, that's all right then. So right, let's jump back in. Hang on. It's not quite purple. It's blue, to be honest. It's my New York Giants hat, but it's as close as I can get at the moment. Although it is getting back towards beanie weather, so I probably will have to dig my purple beanie out. Right, here we go. Let's go and see what we can. What should we use? We've got to use a Go away. Pepper for our spicy approaches. There we go. We'll probably use that. That'll be nice. Spicy approaches. Yeah, but sweater weather here for sure. Is here for sure. Well, yeah. It's getting that way over here. It's not quite. I'm still in shorts at the moment, let's put it that way. Right, new flight. And we'll stick with that for the moment. So Sion is LSGS, I believe. Oh, wow. That's sad of me. Confirm that. Let's start it. Let it load the scenery. Now we won't click anything else, so you guys are going to have to... Oh, go on. Tell me, Slavstar. Tell me about the jackpot. I'm intrigued now. Free VCR and lots of tapes. Nice. Does that make up for the telly that you missed out on the other day? That is the question. But yeah, so for those of you that don't know, there'll be a new computer build, which is going to be coming in a couple of months' time. Basically Black Friday, I'm looking at building a new computer, so that should be coming then. So hopefully there'll be more streaming, and it should be a lot smoother. Even on that last flight that we did into Sandain, I noticed there was some stutters and bits and pieces which I want to try and get rid of. What is that paprika there? It's my chili pepper. That will, after I've done a little bit of work on it in Photoshop, that will become my logo for what is going to become. What day should we do it? We should do it on Sundays, shouldn't we? Spicy Approach Sundays. That's what we'll do, I think. Or Saturdays. One or the other. Spicy Approach. But next time I'll make sure that I've got the scenery all loaded in. We'll make sure where we can we'll have some nice textures around the ground. We'll use some photo scenery so it will look like it was on that approach into Sandain just then. Because that did look good. And we'll come up with a list. There is a list out there that that's been made up of the 22 most challenging approaches. I looked at it and some of them really aren't overly challenging in the grand scheme of things. Went to the dentist yesterday. Okay, this is either going to be a joke or it's going to be a horror story. Oh no, she's cute. Nice. That's always a bonus. I thought it was going to be a horror story about, you know, some big burly man having to kneel on your chest while he yanked teeth out. What's this? My phone is going mad. Mad, mad, mad. Not even Connor messaging me. So how's the loading going? Okay, I should be able to get rid of the chili pepper any second now. Did she put fucking Bondo or something like that in my tooth? Flex Seal or something. It's when she's leaning over your face with a mastic gun. That's when you've got to worry. Done with preloading. Here we go. We're going to be into Sion in just a second. I don't want to tempt it. X-Plane seems very temperamental if I click off of... I can move that out of the way now. If I click off of X-Plane into something else while it's loading, it seems to like crashing. Whatever it is, I'm happy how it turned out. That's good. That is good. But yeah, so when the new computer's built, we should be able to play a large variety of different bits and pieces. I'll get back into my racing stuff, that's for sure. I've kind of stepped away from that a little bit because of how the computer was running playing Project Cars 2. Yeah, okay.
On runway 07, right, flaps.
Okay, apparently Sion's missing some files. Do I have a specific config? How do you mean, do I have a specific config? Okay, so Sion is pretty spicy. Well, I mean, we can leave it just as it is standard at the moment, I think. And we'll try the approach in here. Let's have a look at the approach for Sion. Right, first things first. Do I know what I'm going to get? Yes, I've got a pretty good idea of what I'm going to get. It will be an i7 8600K.
On runway 07,
and then depending
right,
on what
runway
happens
07,
with the
right.
price of RAM for Black Friday, it'll either be 32 or 16 gig of RAM, and then a GTX 1080 Ti. Sorry about that alarm, guys. That'll go off in a second, just as soon as I manage to flick these two switches once the power's all set up. That's basically telling me I'm running on batteries only, which isn't good. As soon as this bit here lights up blue, then we can flick that and that noise will go away. Come on. There we go. That's basically an alarm which lets everyone know that you're running on. Yeah, so basically it's going to be a beast. Is yeah, the plan. Oh, why is that? Ooh, that was different. Right, let's go up to set that to say 12,000. Seatbelt signs can go on. We'll flick those on. We'll bring those on as well. Just go through it all quickly. That can close down. Fuel pumps are all on. Bleed air on there. They're all off. Anti-collision light can go on. That can go on there. Set that to 12,000. While that's sorting itself out, we'll go to this view here. FMC, Posinet, LSGS. In there we go. Next page and get the GPS information. Put that in there. Route, we're going to go from Sion and we're going to go back to Sion.
On runway 07, right. On runway 07, right.
And we're going to depart from. Is this what it keeps telling me? It's 7 right. Is it 7 right? It is 7 right apparently. Which isn't a choice. So we'll go for 07. Okay. 7 left? No. Okay, so we'll go for 7. And then let's find a near point that we can route to. Where's the map gone? The map's over there. Bring the map out. So we're going to go out to try WIL, which is up here, up to the north. We'll head in that general direction. Next page, WIL in there. Activate, execute. Fill in all this rubbish. Get it done sharpish. 120. We're going to go up to there. Execute that. Normal limit outside it's 13 degrees. That's done. Take off. Flaps 5. Speeds are in there. That's done. Get rid of that. Right, now the aircraft is ready for us to take off, I believe. Right, hang on. I need to make sure I've got that set with temporary positioning as well. So that if I do look up, then
on runway 07, right. On runway 07, right.
PNAV, LNAV's not working properly, which is fine. We haven't got a head in yet. It's going to be roughly that. That can go to there. Controls are working. Let's just check the pressure where we are. In C on, and then we'll be airborne before we even know about it. So 3015. Right. We are all set up and good to go. So let's start getting the engine started. How long have we got left before we've got all of our navigation? 3 minutes. Okay. Start the engine. There it goes. Right, anyway. Water cooling, or going to stay fan cooled? Fan cooled to start off with, only because I'm not planning on overclocking it. I'm just going to leave it standard, or with the overclock that you get just by putting in on the. I'm going to get one of the EGSS motherboards. One of the Strix motherboards, and that, when just as you plug it in, gives you a little bit of an overclock on there. So I'm just going to stick with fan cool to start off with. Right, so wait, hear that click, that means that engine's good. We'll start the other one. Everyone get your seatbelts on. Here we go, here goes the second engine. We need to put some center tanks on. That one's winding up. We wait for this to get to 25, 23, 24, 25. So yeah, I've been working overtime and that at work to basically make sure I've got the money come Black Friday to pay for everything that I want. There's flaps 2, there's flaps 5. Just waiting on these displays to come up. Got a minute, if not less, to wait. Generate can go to there. APU can go off. APU bleed can go off. That can go to auto. Packs can go to auto. You hear everything kicking in the background. And as soon as they come on, we are ready to go. And that IRS light will go out. And then we'll start accelerating down the runway. Make sure that screen's blanked out. Altitude disagree. We'll disagree, won't it? Because that's not been set. Hectopascals. Done. Come on, any second now. There they are. Right. Bring the power up to 40%. IRS. Why is the IRS light still on there? One's apparently not aligned properly. Never mind. Let's go. Let's go.
knots.
Check.
D1, rotate.
Positive, right? Gear up.
1000.
Get the flaps up. Yay! Tads with the 30 bits, thank you very much. Evening, evening. Welcome to stream. We have decided, Tads, when it comes to flying... Ooh, hello. Ooh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I've, let's go ahead and select. Let's go round this way a little bit. Yeah, we have decided, I don't know whether it should be Spicy Approach Saturday or Spicy Approach Sunday. Either which way, one of these, we're going to have spicy approaches, which is going to be approaches in like all the challenging airports. We don't need those lights on. Get rid of that. Let's look out here. Yeah, I think we'll clear the mountains now, just about. Maybe not that one. If you look on the display here, maybe not that one. No, we should do actually. We should still clear it. Passed through 8,000 feet now. We're going up to 12,000 feet. So, let's start loading in the approach for Sion. Let's have a look at what we've got to do here. Right, so the approaches are only for runway 25. Which is interesting. So let's try and load this in, shall we? After that leg, let's put SIO, which is back over the top of the airfield. So we'll execute that. And we want to be there. Right, we're going to have to reset some of our stuff that we put in initially, that's for sure. Because we need to get up to 17,000 for this approach. So we'll wind that up to 17,000. Leave that in level change. Need to set the pressurization for 17,000 as well, which is there. Right, okay. Now let's load the approach and bring this back in, shall we? So we're going to do, all of a sudden, now I do need the lights on there. Where have the lights gone? There they are. Right, departure and arrival. Arrival into Sion. We want the RNAV. What's the RNAV approach like? Oh, that could be interesting. Yep, we're going to do the RNAV approach. Where the hell is Grana? There's Grana, okay. From Grana. That's what we're going to do. Into runway 25. So we need to get up to 17,000 feet. Let's look at the legs. Right. First things first. Let's head back to Sion. So let's go heading select. come round to the left. So basically we're going to go back over the top of the airfield that we've just taken off from. Once we've got over the top of that, let me show you this chart. We're basically going to fly out down a valley, along a little bit of a valley. In fact, no, we're going to go out this way, along a little bit of a valley, turn round, descend through a valley, and come back in to land in the opposite direction to the way that we just took off in. So this is going to be high mountain spicy. That's what's going to make this spicy. So we'll reselect Sion and execute it. We'll go back into LNAV. See if it will let me put a new climb in. No, it won't. Bollocks. So route. Init ref. I'm trying to, there we go. Bingo. Right. There we go. Right, now we're sorted. Why is this plane not turning back to where I want it to? It's not doing what I want it to. Get rid of that screen. I don't know what the plane's doing. It's doing things I don't want it to do. Plane is literally paying no attention to what I want it to do at the moment. And that's not helpful when we want to try and do this approach. At the right hand side of the plane, this looks like it's going to be perfectly normal at the moment because you can't see any of the bloody mountains. Right, why are you being such a fucking doofus, plane? Come on. Hopefully I haven't just found a way to break it. Man of Sand, hey, how you doing? Right. Recycle both the flight directors. There we go. Now I think it's doing what it's supposed to. Now it should be doing what it's supposed to. Right, so at this point, so we need to stay at 17,000 feet. So here we go. Let's bring up the chart. and we'll walk through it. So we're at 17,000 feet now, which I'm hoping is going to be high enough for us not to bump into any mountains here. We're going to come into this point at 615. We're going to follow this loop round 616. Now at 616 we still need to be at 17,000 feet, so we don't descend yet. At 616 we stay there, and then eventually at 608, which is this point here, we start to descend. So we descend down into this valley. At this point here, 607, we can't be going any faster than 160 knots. So let's make sure that that is included in the flight management computer. So turn that off, and we set at 607, which is this point, and this first bit here that says 160B, that means we need to be below 160 knots. Brilliant, we're fine for that one. 608, it says 17,000 or above. I wouldn't necessarily say 17,000 or above. I'd say we want to be at 17,000 at that point. I'll put that in and execute that. That's fine. Let's have a look at any of these other points. 606, 11481, that's in there. 605 should be 6553. 604, 5789. Yeah. Bingo. Right, and let's have a look. 1,490 is our decision altitude. So at that point we then choose, whoa, cabin altitude is balls and up. Why is the cabin altitude balls and up? Going to manual. Close any of the valves. Go high pressure on the packs. Altitude horn cut out. I don't know why, because we're at 17,000. That should be fine. But for some reason the cabin pressure's gone over 10,000 feet, so that's why that alarm just went off. Oh no, we're still climbing. Ah. Right, hang on. Shit, we're still climbing. I'd completely missed that. I was so preoccupied with the fact that the plane wasn't actually wasn't actually turning left and right where I wanted it to, but I completely missed that. That was stupid. Right, so here we go. Okay. Now we're about to start the excitement. Right, so we should in theory be at 17,000, or in fact above 17,000 for this point, so that's fine. We're above, that's no issue. Let's go auto brake 2 for this, and let's start setting up for the approach. So we're going to want land flaps 40, a little bit slower. I'll have the glide slope on. Why are you turning right, plane? Don't turn right, turn, or why are you turning left rather, turn right. There we go. Now you're going to start coming to the right, please. Yep, now you're coming to the right. Okay. And we should, in theory, now start to see. You can just about make out the ground there. Do a roll, see if any passengers notice. What, as they're picking their drinks up off the ceiling. There you go, so you can just through the murk there start to make out some of the mountains. Here's our nice shiny aircraft that we're going to take and land in Sion. Aren't she pretty? Well, she is at the moment. Let's hope we don't smack her into the floor. Right, so now we can go into VNAV mode. And the plane should sort itself out. Right, so the what did I say the decision height was? The decision height for a Cat C aircraft, which is what we're in, is 1490. $200, $300, $400, $500, $600. We go. $14. Ooh. Now, at the point where you hear a like electronic sounding voice say minimums, that's the point where we've then got to decide if we want to land or not. So we need really to be able to see the runway by that point. So where are we at the moment? Let's bring up the chart and we'll have a look. We are coming around the top of this curve here. On this display it draws it as a straight line. They haven't managed to work out the coding. Oh, hang on, you can't see. On here it's drawn as a straight line. They haven't managed to work out the coding to draw it as a curve yet. But we are in fact on this curve here. So we're about to begin our descent now, coming down into this valley. Right, so we want the legs page. He'd have the init ref page with the landing on it. So let's get ready to start descending into Sion in Switzerland. And then, as I said, we can talk this over at work tomorrow, Connor. You can critique my landing skills as well as laugh at me for my Sandane landing. Right, so I'm going to set this altitude now down to 6,500. Oh. Because any minute now the aircraft should start descending. It's accelerating at the moment, which I don't quite get. There's obviously some coding in there which isn't quite right for how I've set the flight management computer up. So here we go. The descent will begin. In fact, I can start the descent now. I'll go to the descent page. It's doing it now anyway. Here we go. Here comes the profile. And now the aircraft's going to start descending. I'm going to give it some speed brakes because it seems to reckon that we're high already. Let's give her some speed brakes. Help her down. There you can see the speed brakes extending on the wing. Give it some more, and in fact we'll give it some flap as well. The limiting speed of the flaps is 250, so we're only doing 230 at the moment, so we can use that for an extra bit of drag without the risk of them flying off. Still can't see any mountains. It's looking very murky. What can the passengers see? They can just about make out a mountain there. So yeah, it's definitely murky. It's like my GoPro view. There's my GoPro view. So we're getting back on the profile now. Descended at 2,500 feet per minute in towards a load of mountains. Just, it seems wrong. Bring on our terrain radar. Go for another stage of flap. Go for flap 2. Now the passengers can definitely see mountains. "10,000 feet, let's flip our landing lights on. But we don't need those ones on just yet. Right, we're catching up with the profile now, so let's take away some of the speed brake. We don't need that much. As I said, remember, when it shouts minimums at us, that means we've got to decide if we're landing or not. Completely missed the whole max speed point. I should be back at 160 by now. I'm going way faster than that. So go for flap 5. And let's get the landing gear out as well. That'll help slow us down. As you can hear, it's pretty noisy because we're hanging everything out and we're still going pretty quick. It's a very pretty approach. Look at it. Nice. speed's coming back nicely, so let's start stowing the speed brake, and we'll just arm it, ready for the approach. I'm going to set that down to 1500 because that's basically our decision height. So we've got the gear down. Flaps 5, so let's select flaps 10. We're about 15 miles out from touchdown now. Very pretty approach. Go flaps 15. So we're going to turn left any second now. Here we go. Can we see the runway yet? No, I actually can't. There it is. We can see it. Look at this view, look, descending through the Swiss mountains. Lovely. Very pretty. Check. Go flaps 25. We're going to speed back. We want 144 knots as our approach speed. Flaps 30.
Approaching minimums.
quickly, while I'm here, I'm just going to change the graphics and change the field of view to 65 so I can see a little bit more. There we go.
Minimums.
Landing. Flaps 40. See the runway there. Check.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Yeah, 2 more followers to the 200 follower goal. So close now. Disconnect the auto throttle and fly in by hand.
Approaching 25 left.
Here we go. Check. And we're down.
80 knots.
Manual braking. Stow the reversers. And here we go.
Stop and the seatbelt sign has been switched off. Before leaving the aircraft, please ensure that you have all your personal belongings with you. Customers requiring boarding passes for the onward connections are requested to coordinate with the ground staff. Customers holding onward boarding passes are advised to check the flight information display for gate assignment information.
Where's the... I can't remember where the settings are for this now. Visual effects, no. Aircraft config. Oh, no, it's in hardware, isn't it? There it is. Go away. Get rid of that. Switch off the landing lights. Switch on the taxi light. Those can go off. The flaps can go up. Speed brake can go away. And we'll start the APU. It's starting now. Pull over, we'll just park up here for the moment. That'll do. Parking brake is set. Thrust levers back to idle. Switch that off. There we go. The APU started. We'll just wait for that so we can get electrical power, and then we'll shut down, and that will be us for the night. So from tonight we've managed to decide that we're now going to have to do spicy approach, as I said, either Saturday or Sunday. That will be our new thing. And I've got to pull my finger out and start getting some scenery sorted for some of these places we want to do spicy approaches into. There we go, that's the are these not kept? Oh man, really? There we go. That should also do the same. Save all. There we go. So there we go. We are on the ground. I'm in voice gap if not off right away. Yeah, I won't be off straight away. But there we go. We are on the ground in Sion. As I said, we'll need to find some nice scenery for it, but let's watch the replay first. We'll watch the last bit of the replay. Where were we? Let's go from about here, shall we? Whoa! That's loud. Watch from the end of the runway. Here we go. Let's see how hard this looked from the outside. A little bit bouncy. It was firm. Definitely not the worst landing in the world. Let's see what the passengers saw of it. I don't think which side we look at is going to make a huge amount of difference. Better than the other night, yeah. Definitely better than the other night. So there we go then, guys. That was our approach into Sion. That's going to get added to the spicy approaches, so we'll add that to our list. Once the scenery and everything's sorted for there, then we'll try going back in there. But until next time, guys, thank you all very much for watching. Let's see if we can find someone that we can go and raid, shall we? See who else is on. Have a look. Steffi Marie's on again, so let's go and give her a raid. She's playing a bit of American Truck Sim, same as she was last time. So let's all head over there and give her a quick raid. 5 seconds. Here we go.
Say